Okay, guys, here we go. I'll post this as soon as we get through discussing it, so you'll be able to review it if you need to. Problem 1 says, which choice shows a true conditional? With the hypothesis and conclusion identified correctly. The answer here is D. Does anybody have a question about that? Number 2. I'm sorry. What? Yesterday was Tuesday if tomorrow is Thursday. Okay. The hypothesis comes after the word if. So tomorrow is Thursday is your hypothesis. And the conclusion is the other part of the statement. So they reversed it here. Number 2. Which biconditional is not a good definition? If you can find a counterexample, it's not a good definition. The answer here is D. Do you have a question about that? It says a ray is a bisector of an angle if and only if it splits the angle into 2 angles. What's wrong with that? No. What does a bisector do? Cuts it into 2, but it's more specific than just cutting it into 2 angles. An angle bisector, when it says an angle bisector, it means it cuts it into 2 parts that are exactly the same size. And it doesn't say that in that statement. A whole number is odd if and only if it is not divisible by 2. That is true. I can't find anything to prove it wrong, therefore it's true. An angle is a straight angle if and only if its measure is 180. Every straight angle is 180, and every 180-degree angle is a straight angle, so that one's also true.
Those odds and evens are killing, I don't know what they mean.
A whole number is even if and only if it's divisible by 2. So that one's also true. Number 3 says, how are the 2 angles related? They are not a linear pair. They do not slide together. I mean, if you split them together, they would make a line, but they're not drawn that way. To be a linear pair, they have to be drawn together, and they're not. So we can't use that one. It's not even one of them. They're not vertical. We know they're not vertical. They are supplementary. So that answer is B. Number 4. Identify the hypothesis and the conclusion of this conditional statement. The hypothesis is 2 lines intersect at right angles. That's the hypothesis right there. The conclusion is 2 lines are perpendicular. That's the conclusion.
If we underline yes and then it's we kind of wrong.
No. 5. What is the conclusion of the following conditional? A number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits of the number is divisible by 3. That's the conclusion. The answer is the number is divisible by 3. Because if, that's your hypothesis right here. Comes after if. What is the converse of the following conditional? If a point is in the first quadrant, then its coordinates are positive.
If a point's coordinates are positive, then it is in the first quadrant.
Right. If the point's coordinates are positive, then it is in quadrant 1. That is the converse. Now, we didn't have this page, or no, this is exactly what y'all's looks like, isn't it? We went straight to number 13 from there.
I wish we could have just made that.
Sorry. It says, given that the measure of AOC is 150, they want you to give the reasons here. The measure of AOB and the measure of BOC together would make the measure of AOC. The reason for that is called the angle addition postulate. Okay? Number 2. They replace the angles with their measures. That is substitution. Then they distributed. Distribution or distributive property. Then they simplified. Then they added 18 to each side. So that is the addition property of equality. And finally they divided. That is the division property of equality. 14. Same thing, except we're dealing with a segment instead of an angle. So 14, we start off with the segment, addition, postulate. We replace the segment names with their values. That is substitution. Combine like terms is simplify. Subtract 8 from each side, that is the subtraction. Property of equality. Divide, division, property of equality. Pay attention. Name the property of equality. 15. What'd you get on that one? Subtraction.
I need to study those properties.
16 says, use the given property to complete the statement. If y equals 3 and x plus y equals 12, then what property do they want you to use here? Substitution. So the conclusion would be 8x plus 3 is 12. They just want you to swap out y for 3.
Oh, they don't want you to solve for x or anything? I thought it said subtraction.
The complement of an angle is 25. What's the angle? If the complement is 25, what's the angle? 90 minus 25, which is 65. 18. Angle DFG and JKL are complementary. DFG is x plus 5. JKL is x minus 9. Together they're supposed to equal 90 because they're complementary. So you set up your equation, combine your like terms. 2x minus 4 is 90. 2x is 94. Divide by 2. Y'all help me out, I'm running out of room. What's 94 divided by 2? Is it 47? X is 47, but that's not the answer to the question. The question says, find the measure of the angle. Well, this angle is angle DFG is x plus 5. So that would be 47 plus 5, which is 52. The measure of JKL is 47 minus 9, which is 38. Questions there? Did you have questions?
That was my easiest I got 47.
Yeah, x is 47. Then you got to go back and plug it in to find the measure of each angle. So 47 plus 5 is 52, and 47 minus 9 is 38. Y'all don't let me make those mistakes again. I'm losing it. Any questions? Okay, let me go back.
What was it, 47?
Do you have questions? Haley, got a question?
So 52 and 38 negatives.
Yes. The next one you did was 24. Number 24 says, assume the following statements are true. If Cecil makes his bed, then it's morning. If it's 8 p.m., then Tammy brushes her teeth. If it is morning, then Ted listens to the radio. If it is afternoon, then Jeanette takes her daily swim. Cecil makes his bed. For each statement below, write must be true, may be true, or not true. Use only the given information above and explain your reasoning. Ted listens to the radio. Okay, here's what you know. You know that Cecil made his bed. If Cecil makes his bed, what else do you know? It's morning. So does that mean Ted's going to listen to the radio? Yes. Must be true. Tammy does not brush her teeth. What do you think about that one?
Do we have to write out a reason or just must be true? It says explain.
Well, if you underline, I'll take that as explanation. What about Tammy brushing her teeth? It says she does not do it. What did it say about Tammy brushing her teeth? It said if it's 8 p.m., she brushes her teeth. So she's definitely brushing her teeth at 8 p.m. Did it say that is the only time she brushes her teeth? It didn't say that, did it? I certainly hope she brushes them in the morning, too. Now, I can't go with that, you know. So what I write here is it may be true. I know for a fact she's brushing her teeth at 8 p.m. every day. But you know what? She might also brush them at 7 a.m. It didn't say that's the only time she brushed them. It just said she's definitely doing it at that time. So this one may be true.
Not maybe true. This is what she does.
Hmm?
That's what she does.
Tammy does not brush her teeth. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. We don't know. We don't know for sure that she does, and we don't know for sure that she doesn't. She might brush them at 7 a.m. and she might not. I think the point, I think I was saying it backwards a while ago. She definitely brushes them at 8 p.m. But just because she definitely brushes them at 8 p.m. doesn't mean that's the only time she brushes them. She could do it at other times of the day. Right?
And if it's 8 p.m. would be, or evidence.
Yeah, if it said it's 8 p.m., if this said it is 8 p.m., and they said she is not brushing her teeth, you'd say that's false because it says she's got to do that at 8 p.m. Jeanette takes her daily swim. If it is afternoon, then Jeanette takes her daily swim. What about that one? Not true.
So, how is that not true?
Well, when it says daily swim, then how often is she doing it? Once a day. And when does she do it?
It's afternoon.
It's afternoon. But if Cecil's making his bed, it's not afternoon. What time of day is it? Morning. Because it says that Cecil makes his bed, we know it has to be morning. Yeah, this is the only fact I know. The rest of it's conditional. But I know he's making his bed, therefore I know it's morning.
So you've got to base everything off of the conditional. No, base everything off the fact.
Right. 25. Write two conditional statements that form this biconditional, then decide if it's a good definition. Okay. What do you think about this one? 3 points are collinear if and only if they are coplanar. What two statements do you write? That's a statement. Now, is that a good definition?
No, 2 points are coplanar, they're collinear.
Why not? Exactly. This one, if they're in the same line, they're in the same plane. That's definitely true. But if they're in the same plane, they may not be in the same line. So since this one's not definitely true, you cannot call that a good definition. So that one is no. It's not a good definition. Okay. So we're going to stop there.